General Hospital spoilers on the Metro Court patio. Carly talks with Michael about Daisy's christening, but Michael appears distracted. She calls him out for being somewhere else. Michael can't help but feel it is cruel to Willow that he's hosting this celebration for a new family member. He worries he's rubbing her face in the fact that she lost everything. Carly tells him he's a good man, but he has a new baby, and that is something to celebrate. She says he also shouldn't feel guilty, as he didn't do anything wrong, and the judge made her decision. Michael wants Willow to be a mom to their kids again, but Drew is the problem. Carly says Drew is family, which is the most sickening part in all of this. Michael says that Drew using Wiley was a despicable move. Carly notes Willow seems blind to Drew, but Michael vows that will change. Michael says if there is any chance of Willow seeing her kids again, he needs to get rid of Drew. He thinks that if he can force her to see that she lost her kids because of Drew, then she might walk away from him. Nina tries to convince Willow to wait. At the pool, Nina is stunned by the news that Willow is marrying Drew right after divorcing Michael. Willow insists this is how she'll get her kids back. Willow explains that if they present themselves as a legally married and stable couple, the judge will give her generous visitation rights. Nina worries the judge may see this as a tactic, and the judge will think she's only marrying Drew to work the system. She also points out that the judge doesn't want to see her making reckless decisions. Willow says Martin suggested this, but Nina doesn't think it means she needs to marry Drew right away. Nina tells Willow not to elope or have a quick wedding, but have a real wedding so the judge knows it's real and not a marriage of convenience. Jordan and Curtis relive their past. Jordan runs into Curtis, and they chat. Jordan reveals that with her new job and salary, she is upgrading her living situation and moving. They take a trip down memory lane and recall a stakeout case they worked on in Baltimore in the blazing summer heat. Jordan remembers them celebrating by the waterfront after they caught the guy, and it was the best feeling ever. Curtis agrees. Martin gives Drew good news. Martin meets Drew in his office and tells him that Tracy has caved and they have her where they want her. Drew says this is the second best thing to happen today, the first being Willow agreeing to marry him. Martin says it's a smart strategy, but Drew says he also loves Willow, so it's not just a strategy. Soon they'll be sharing the same last name, Quartermain. Tracy has misgivings. At the Quartermain mansion, Tracy tells Brooklyn about Drew's offer to make the ketamine charges go away, and she has to decide if she will give in and read his statement. Brooklyn doesn't see what the problem is. Tracy says her pride wants her to go to court and fight these ridiculous charges. Brooklyn thinks Tracy could lose given she already tried to frame Alexis for drunk driving once, so she might need to suck it up and take Drew's offer. Brooklyn tells Tracy that if the Quartermain name is what Drew needs, then give it to him. It doesn't make him a Quartermain, and they'll never accept him as one. Tracy decides to proceed with the conference, and Brooklyn insists on going with her. Trina's shaken by Kai's news. Kai stops by the gallery to see Trina and tells her he accepts Drew's internship. He explains he'll be working for Drew from his office in Port Charles, so he won't be relocating to D.C. Trina is happy that he's staying in Port Charles, but he wonders how she feels about the job. Trina admits she doesn't trust Drew, and working with him is a mistake. Kai knows her parents have issues with Drew, but he's been nothing but good to him. Drew is giving him a chance to get into politics on a national level. He's interested in seeing where this goes, and he just hopes this won't come between them. He also says perhaps Drew will give him a reason not to like him, but he has to learn that himself. He gets Paige to attend a press conference and says he'll call her later. She kisses him and says she doesn't have to agree with him to be on his side, and he's got this. Isaiah gives Portia a show. At the hospital, Portia sits in the locker room and is sore from long hours. Isaiah appears in a towel and says he's sorry and thought he was alone in here. She says it's fine. She's just had a 16-hour shift. She's trying to work up the energy to go home, but she can't find it. As Isaiah dresses, he asks why the co-chief of staff is working such a long shift. She explains she filled in for Dr. Park and admits she's been avoiding going home. Isaiah suggests she find a way not to think about work or home. Isaiah calls her a superstar, but she's no good to the patients or staff if she runs herself into the ground. He says she needs to have fun. Portia has no idea what that is anymore, so Isaiah says they will change that. He says it is a beautiful day, and they will have some fun. Isaiah's not so great idea. Back at the pool, Curtis and Jordan note how that stakeout was a long time ago, and they have come a long way individually and in their careers. Portia and Isaiah show up, and Curtis gets a call from Trina. She's at the gallery and asks him to come by. Curtis takes off, leaving Jordan to relax on her own. Portia rants to Isaiah about Jordan and Curtis' behavior, which she doesn't think is proper, especially in public. Isaiah admits he's not impartial as he and Jordan used to date. Portia and Isaiah grab a table, and Isaiah thinks this situation is adding to her stress, and they should go. Portia won't be run off, and notes Curtis didn't even notice she was here before he left, so something else more important must be on his mind. Across the pool, Willow understands what her mother is saying, but this may be the only way to get her kids back. Nina again urges her not to rush into this, and they can plan this wedding together. Willow says she'll think about waiting. Willow says she needs to go and walks off like a zombie. North the Metro Court patio, Carly asks Michael if he will keep Willow and Drew out of his children's lives for good. Michael says Drew will never be a part of his children's lives, but he wants Willow to be. Michael takes off. Later, when Carly is alone, Nina grabs her and warns her that if she doesn't get through to Michael, Willow will marry Drew.